Welcome back. We are going to be covering the residential property owner's disclosure and how to fill it out with your clients on the listing agreement. We're back in the DocuSign rooms. We're clicking on the form that we loaded, and you'll see how to do that in the previous video. We go through here. We want to make sure we have the address, the area, the town, the state, the zip. Got all there. The owners are test dummy and sample dummy. Now, they will sign here. When this is all filled out and signed off by the owner, we will attach this to an MLS listing. There'll be another video showing you how to do that. But for the time being, when they're going through this, they would sign there. We come down here and we get started. What year was the dwelling constructed? They will tell you. Now, the biggest thing I want to go over to you right here, and it's actually interesting. I've heard different brokers in charge have different opinions on how this is done. We go back to the first page. And it's as far as whether you check yes, no, or no representation. Yes means that I have a known problem, and hopefully you have a report from an engineer, contractor, pest expert, public agency describing the problem. Attach a report given to you by a professional to protect yourself. If I have a structural engineer's report saying that a property I'm listing has a issue with the structural integrity of the building, and structural engineer's report, I will say there's a problem with the foundation on this form, and I will attach that report as an attachment to the MLS listing. And it's just full disclosure, not misrepresenting everything. The authority on the subject, you have provided the same information that your client has received. Now, no, it says here, you are stating that you have no actual knowledge of any problem. On the flip side of that, if you say no and you know there's a problem, you may be liable for making an intentional misstatement. You're intentionally misrepresenting the property. My point of view on this is if you have a 90-year-old woman and she's lived in this house for 10 years and it has a crawl space and she has never, ever, ever, ever been in that crawl space. If you ask her, do you have any problems with your foundation? She says, not that I'm aware of. To me, that is a no. She does not have actual knowledge of any problem with the foundation. Has she been down there and looked? No. But should a 90-year-old woman have to crawl around in her crawl space to determine whether that's actually happening or not? I don't think so. So that's the type of thing. I've talked to a broker in charge that say, well, unless they know for sure, they shouldn't say no. And to me, that's not the way this is written. Talk to your broker in charge and go with him. I go with this because I'm reading it as it's written. If I'm selling a home and I've never been on the roof and I have no signs of water damage or any leaking or any problem with the roof whatsoever that I'm aware of, I'm not going to say no representation for the roof because I have no knowledge of a problem with my roof, so I'm going to say no. So as we go through here, are there any problems with the foundation slab? Just read it to them and say no. Now, if you notice, you can't fill this out in DocuSigns, and the reason why is you're not supposed to be filling this out. This is supposed to be filled out by the seller themselves. Unless this is that 9-year-old woman and she's a quadriplegic and she physically cannot write on this herself, then I would do it for her, but I'd have something stating that I filled it out for her in writing, all that good stuff. Otherwise, your client should be filling this out at the listing table when you're taking the listing. You hand this to them and you talk with them and you show where you want them to fill it out, how they want to do it, things like that. You can't click this in here because you're not supposed to be filling it out. So go through and just read it to them and have them fill it in. If they know there's a problem with the roof, hit yes. If they have no knowledge of a problem, they hit no. Now, if you're in a situation where that 9-year-old woman has passed away and her son wants to sell a property and he's never lived in the property and he has no clue what works, what doesn't, that's a situation where you might be writing no representation the whole way down. Talk to your BIC, get it from them. It's better from them than from me. I'm just trying to help you know how to fill this out. So you go through the whole process. Down here, once you get to number 31, if you answered yes to any of them, you'd fill it in here. And best practice for me is right here, I would write, let's say, the property adjoins a private road. In the example of the previous house we were talking about, it's in an HOA and they take care of it. It does adjoin a private street. I would hit yes here. And then I would put 30 with a little semicolon. Home is on private road maintained by HOA. And then if there was another one, I might write 31. Is there existing? Yes. Maintenance agreement from HOA for private road. You would put the number and the answer. If you need more room, you will attach an additional sheet, and you will reference the number to the answer of why you put a yes for any of these first 31 questions. The next thing, this is about homeowners association, covenants, conditions, restrictions. I'll do another video on that, but ask them, do you know of any covenants, conditions, restrictions? You may be in an HOA, so you have an HOA and they have their own covenants, CCRs. We're not talking about Creedence Clearwater Revival, we're talking covenants, conditions, restrictions. There's not a bad moon on the rise. Or Green River, or Proud Mary, I could go on all day. I love CCR. So, that's what we're thinking about right here. They should know. If they don't, you're going to have to do some research. We'll do a video on that, how to help you out with that. Sometimes you have multiple homeowner associations. Kenmure subdivision is a great example. Kenmure themselves has an HOA, but within Kenmure, there are little streets where they have their own separate HOA. So it's an HOA in an HOA. That would go here. You want to know, is it $150 per month? Is it $1,500 per year? What's the name of the association? What's the name, address, and telephone number of the president of the association? So you can call and ask questions if necessary, or a potential buyer. And this form, buyer's agents can pull up on the MLS. You should always attach this to your MLS listing so that when they want to make an offer, they can download this form along with mineral oil, gas, along with lead-based paint, along with any disclosures necessary. They can download it and use it when submitting an offer because they need it for that. Make it easy for buyer's agents. We go through here, and on each page, they sign number 1 and date, and then this is the only time you're going to see this. They initial and date, where it says owner. Be careful. It says buyer, it says owner. Make sure when you're filling this out, they're filling out owner. If you're working with a buyer, then they'll initial over here, but the purposes of this video is owner. So they're going to initial and date. Then they're going to initial a date again. And then this is where you talk about what the HOA covers. Is there a fee when you sell the property to a new owner? Are there any dues, special assessments, unsatisfied judgments for the HOA, for anything like that? What does the HOA fees cover? Do they cover management fees? A master insurance policy? These are things that you can, if your sellers don't know, you can call the president of the association and ask. That's the point of getting his information. And then a buyer's agent should call the president to confirm this information on behalf of their client. Again, the owners would initial and date. You hit save and close. You wouldn't hit save and close, you'd be in person, they'd be filling it out. But that is how you want to fill out a residential property owner disclosure statement. Next, we'll be covering mineral oil gas. It's a very quick video, very simple form. See you then.